There comes a moment in every man's life when he must make a choice, not about a woman, but about himself. It's the moment when she reaches out again, when she suddenly wants back into your life. Maybe she left you behind, maybe she took you for granted, or maybe she thought you'd always be there waiting. But now, something's changed. You've changed. Most men make the mistake of believing that the goal was always to get her back, to finally hear those words, "I miss you. I made a mistake." But here's the truth. If you've truly grown, if you've truly evolved, you don't even want her anymore. Not because of bitterness, not because of revenge, but because the man you've become is no longer the man she left. You see, walking away isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about stepping into your own power. It's about realizing that you were never the one losing her. She was losing you. Because a man who values himself doesn't chase. He doesn't beg. He doesn't wait around for someone who failed to see his worth the first time. When you walk away and truly mean it, you become untouchable. The power dynamic shifts, and suddenly she sees you in a way she never did before. But by then it doesn't even matter, because you've already won. Not by proving anything to her, but by proving everything to yourself. If you're ready to embrace this mindset, to become the kind of man who commands respect without saying a word, this message is for you. Stay strong, stay stoic, and never forget, you are the prize. Number 1, the fall, when everything crumbles. Every man has faced it, that moment when his world comes crashing down. The moment when she walks away, when the texts stop coming, when the warmth turns cold. It doesn't happen all at once. No, it's a slow, painful process. First, she starts pulling away. The energy shifts. The attention that once felt effortless becomes a battle. You sense it, but you ignore it, convincing yourself it's just a phase. Then one day reality hits. She's gone. And that's when the fall begins. You go through the motions, replaying every conversation, every moment, every mistake. You search for the exact point where it all went wrong, hoping that if you can just find it, maybe you can fix it. But the truth is, it's already over. She made her choice. And now, you're left with the weight of rejection, the sting of abandonment, the unbearable silence that replaces what was once constant. This is where most men lose themselves. They reach out, desperate for closure, desperate for another chance. They send that one last message, thinking maybe, just maybe, she'll respond differently this time. But she doesn't. Or worse, she does. But it's cold, distant, indifferent. And that indifference cuts deeper than anger ever could. Your mind plays tricks on you. You start believing you weren't enough. That if you had just done things differently, if you had just been better, stronger, richer, more exciting, she wouldn't have left. This is the fall, the moment where self-doubt consumes you, where your confidence crumbles, where you forget who you are. But listen closely. This moment does not define you. What defines you is what happens next, because every great transformation begins with a fall. Every strong man was once a broken one, and in this darkness you have a choice. Stay down and let this destroy you, or rise and become something greater than she ever imagined. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Number 2, the trap, why most men fail. Here. The fall is brutal, but what comes next is even more dangerous, the trap. This is where most men lose themselves, not because of the pain, but because of what they do with it. See, pain is an incredible motivator, but it can also be a prison. And the biggest mistake men make after the fall, they chase. She pulls away, and instead of stepping back, they lean in. Instead of walking away with dignity, they beg, plead, try to prove their worth. They send long emotional messages, thinking if they can just explain, just make her see, she'll change her mind. But what they don't realize is that every word, every action, every desperate attempt only pushes her further away. This is the trap, believing that if you just show her how much you care, she'll come back. But attraction doesn't work that way. When a woman pulls away, she's testing. Whether consciously or unconsciously, she wants to see how you'll react. Will you crumble? Will you chase? Will you lose yourself in trying to win her back? Most men fail this test. They become obsessed with proving themselves, proving their worth, proving that they're still the man she once wanted. But the more they try, the more she withdraws, because neediness kills attraction. And it doesn't stop there. Some men, instead of chasing directly, fall into another version of the trap, trying to make her jealous. They start posting stories, trying to appear happier than they are, hoping she'll notice. They surround themselves with other women, not because they want to, but because they want to trigger a reaction from her. But this too is weakness, because the moment you do something for her attention, you've already lost. The worst part, even if she does come back, it's not because of love, it's because of power. She sees you still want her, still need her, and that only reinforces her control over you. She knows that at any moment she can have you again, and that knowledge makes her value you even less. Number 3, the pivot, turning pain into power. Pain is inevitable, the fall hurt, and the trap tested you. But now you stand at a crossroads, the pivot. This is the moment where most men either break or transform. It's the difference between staying stuck in the past, reliving the same mistakes, or using the pain as fuel to become something greater. The pivot is where pain ceases to be your enemy and becomes your greatest ally. Most men waste this moment. They drown in regret, stuck in an endless loop of what-ifs and if-onlys. They keep replaying conversations, analyzing every detail, looking for a way to rewrite the past. But here's the harsh truth. The past is gone. No amount of overthinking, regretting, or hoping will change what happened. The only thing that matters now is what you do with it. This is where you shift. This is where you take all that hurt, all that rejection, all that self-doubt, and forge it into something unstoppable. Pain can do two things. It can destroy you, or it can build you. It can make you bitter, or it can make you better. The difference? Perspective. Instead of seeing pain as a setback, see it as a lesson. Instead of seeing rejection as a loss, see it as a redirection. The moment you stop viewing pain as something unfair and start using it as fuel, you become dangerous. And here's the secret. The greatest transformations happen in silence. No need for announcements, no need for validation, just action. You hit the gym, not to get revenge, but to rebuild your body. You focus on your career, not to prove something to her, but to create a future so solid that no one can shake it. You refine your mind, reading, learning, growing, not because you want her back, but because you want you back. This is the pivot, shifting from reaction to action. Instead of waiting for closure, you create it. Instead of hoping she notices your growth, you become so focused on your own path that she becomes irrelevant. And, ironically, this is when she starts noticing. The moment you stop caring, stop trying, stop looking back, that's when the power shifts. Because now she's the one wondering. She's the one thinking about you. She's the one questioning her decision. But the truth is, by the time she realizes what she lost, you've already moved on. This is what it means to turn pain into power. Not through revenge, not through desperate attempts to regain control, but through a deep, unwavering commitment to yourself. You don't need her. You never did. What you needed was this moment, this fire, this pain, this wake-up call to become the man you were meant to be. And now you rise, stronger, sharper, unshaken, Because the pivot isn't just about moving on, it's about becoming untouchable. Number 3, the pivot, turning pain into power. Pain is inevitable, the fall hurt, and the trap tested you. But now you stand at a crossroads, the pivot. This is the moment where most men either break or transform. It's the difference between staying stuck in the past, reliving the same mistakes, or using the pain as fuel to become something greater. The pivot is where pain ceases to be your enemy and becomes your greatest ally. Most men waste this moment. They drown in regret, stuck in an endless loop of what-ifs and if-onlys. They keep replaying conversations, analyzing every detail, looking for a way to rewrite the past. But here's the harsh truth. The past is gone. No amount of overthinking, regretting, or hoping will change what happened. The only thing that matters now is what you do with it. This is where you shift. This is where you take all that hurt, all that rejection, all that self-doubt, and forge it into something unstoppable. Pain can do two things. It can destroy you, or it can build you. It can make you bitter, or it can make you better. The difference? Perspective. Instead of seeing pain as a setback, see it as a lesson. Instead of seeing rejection as a loss, see it as a redirection. The moment you stop viewing pain as something unfair and start using it as fuel, you become dangerous. And here's the secret. The greatest transformations happen in silence. No need for announcements, no need for validation, just action. You hit the gym, not to get revenge, but to rebuild your body. You focus on your career, not to prove something to her, but to create a future so solid that no one can shake it. You refine your mind, reading, learning, growing, not because you want her back, but because you want you back. This is the pivot, shifting from reaction to action. Instead of waiting for closure, you create it. Instead of hoping she notices your growth, you become so focused on your own path that she becomes irrelevant. And, ironically, this is when she starts noticing. The moment you stop caring, stop trying, stop looking back, that's when the power shifts. Because now she's the one wondering. She's the one thinking about you. She's the one questioning her decision. But the truth is, by the time she realizes what she lost, you've already moved on. This is what it means to turn pain into power. Not through revenge, not through desperate attempts to regain control, but through a deep, unwavering commitment to yourself. You don't need her. You never did. What you needed was this moment, this fire, this pain, this wake-up call to become the man you were meant to be. And now you rise. Stronger, sharper, unshaken, because the pivot isn't just about moving on, it's about becoming untouchable. Number 5, the phoenix, rebuilding from the ashes. There comes a moment when you realize the old you is gone, burned away. The pain, the heartbreak, the humiliation, everything that once weighed you down has turned to ashes. And now, standing in the wreckage, you face a choice: remain in the ruins or rise from them. Most men stay in the ashes. They cling to their past, replaying what happened, obsessing over what they lost. They get trapped in the cycle of regret, of what-ifs and should-haves. But not you. You are the phoenix. You do not mourn the fire, you use it. You turn every ounce of pain into fuel, every scar into wisdom, every setback into strength. This is the phase where true transformation happens. The weak try to escape their pain by chasing distractions, alcohol, meaningless relationships, validation from others. But a man who is truly reborn does the opposite. He embraces the fire. He faces his demons head-on. He takes full accountability, not for her actions, not for how he was treated, but for how he chooses to respond. Because here's the truth. She did not break you. The situation did not destroy you. It simply revealed what needed to change. The man you were, the one who tolerated disrespect, who placed her on a pedestal, who sought his worth in her validation. That man needed to die. And now, in his place, a new version of you emerges. A version that does not chase, a version that does not beg, a version that stands unshaken in his power. Rebuilding from the ashes isn't about revenge. It isn't about proving anything to her or anyone else. It's about proving something to yourself, that you can take the worst pain imaginable and turn it into greatness, that you can be abandoned and still thrive, that no one, not her, not rejection, not failure, can define you. The process is brutal. It requires complete detachment from who you used to be. It means cutting off toxic attachments, walking away from people who drain your energy, and stepping into your highest self. It means prioritizing your growth, physically, mentally, and emotionally. You hit the gym, you build your mind, you cultivate an unshakable sense of purpose. Because the new you does not dwell in the past. The new you moves forward, always. And then, one day, when you least expect it, you'll look in the mirror and realize you've changed. The things that once triggered you no longer have power over you. The person who walked away is now irrelevant. The past no longer haunts you. It fuels you. This is the rebirth. This is the moment you realize you are unstoppable. The pain didn't break you, it built you. And now you rise, like the phoenix, from the ashes. Number 6, the unshaken man. There is a rare kind of man who cannot be moved. He does not flinch in the face of rejection. He does not waver when tested. He does not crumble under pressure. This man is unshaken. And once you become him, nothing, not heartbreak, not loss, not even betrayal, can shake you from your center. Indifference is the ultimate weapon. The moment you stop reacting, you win. She expects you to care, to still be watching, still hoping, still waiting for a second chance. But when you show nothing, no emotion, no interest, no reaction, that's when the shift happens. Because nothing is more powerful than indifference. It means you have already won. It means you are no longer emotionally invested. And a man who needs nothing attracts everything. This is the paradox of power. When you stop wanting something, it starts chasing you. Attraction isn't built on words. It's built on energy. And when your energy screams, "I do not care," she feels it. It eats away at her because women expect to be desired, to be chased, to be missed. But when you move like she never existed, when you don't watch her stories, don't react to her attempts to grab your attention, don't acknowledge her presence, she feels something she never expected to feel, invisible. And the moment she feels invisible to you is the moment she starts craving your validation. But here's the difference between the weak and the unshaken man. The weak man gives in. He mistakes her attempts for love, for redemption, for a second chance. He folds the moment she shows interest, undoing all his progress. The unshaken man? He doesn't even flinch. He understands that her return isn't about love. It's about control. She lost her grip on you. She's no longer in control of your emotions, and that unsettles her. But you don't need closure. You don't need explanations. You don't need to prove a thing. Because the man she once knew, the one who craved her attention, who lived for her validation, is gone. In his place stands a man who has mastered himself, who has risen beyond emotional weakness, who does not chase. To be truly unshaken, you must embody one core truth. Your value is not tied to anyone else. Not to her, not to approval, not to recognition. You stand firm in your own power, knowing that you are enough exactly as you are. So when she tries to make her way back, when she sends that message, when she suddenly likes your old posts, when she accidentally bumps into you, you don't react. You don't break the frame. You don't care. Not because you're playing games, not because you're bitter, but because you are truly past it. That is what makes you unshaken. And a man who cannot be moved commands everything. Number 7, the return, when she realizes her mistake. It always happens. At first, she's confident in her decision. She thinks she has you figured out, that you'll wait, that you'll chase, that you'll always be there, hoping she comes back. But then something shifts. The messages she expected never come. The desperate attempts to win her back, non-existent. The man who once hung on to her every word, who would have done anything for a second chance, is gone. And that's when it hits her. She made a mistake. At first, she tries to ignore it. She convinces herself that you must still be hurting, that you're only pretending to have moved on. But as the weeks pass and you remain silent, unbothered, completely detached, doubt creeps in. She starts checking your social media, looking for signs of regret, for a hint that you still care. But what does she find? Nothing. No sad posts, no cryptic messages, no signs that you're still emotionally tied to her. Instead, she sees something that shakes her to the core. You thriving without her. This is the moment that rewires her entire perception. She thought she had the upper hand. She thought you needed her. But now she realizes that the man she left behind is not the same man standing in front of her. You didn't wait. You didn't break. You evolved. That's when she reaches out. It might be a subtle, "Hey, how have you been?" or a random reaction to one of your stories. Maybe she doesn't say anything at all, but suddenly she's everywhere, viewing your posts, popping up in places you frequent, trying to make her presence known. She wants to be noticed again. But here's where most men fail. They take her return as proof that she still loves them. They mistake her regret for genuine affection. They think this is their moment to welcome her back with open arms. But the truth? She's not reaching out because she loves you. She's reaching out because she lost control of you. You were once a constant, a predictable force in her life. And now, you're an enigma. She can't read you. She can't predict you. She can't control you. And that drives her crazy. Because the reality is, most women don't regret losing the man you were before. They regret losing the man you became after they left. So what do? Do you take her back? Do you give her another chance? Number. You remain unshaken. You don't need to be rude. You don't need to seek revenge. You simply don't care. Because the highest power move is not to play games, not to entertain her ego, but to be so completely done that her return means nothing to you. She had her chance. She made her choice. And now she lives with it. That is the true return, not of her, but of your power. Number 8. The Stoic choice. The ultimate power move. The moment she reaches out, the power shifts. Suddenly, the dynamic that once existed, the one where she had control, where she was the prize, where you were left waiting, is gone. Now the decision is yours. Do you let her back in? Do you entertain her presence? Do you give her the validation she is seeking? Most men get it wrong here. They believe the goal was always to get her back, to finally hear those words, "I miss you. I made a mistake. I want you again." They think this is the victory they've been waiting for, the proof that they were right all along. But that's where they fail, because the real victory isn't in winning her back. It's in realizing you no longer want her. Not out of pride, not out of anger, but because the man you are now, the man who rebuilt himself from the ground up, would never settle for someone who once walked away. This is the Stoic choice, the highest power move. To choose yourself over nostalgia. To recognize that her return isn't about love, it's about losing control over you. She reaches out not because she suddenly understands your worth, but because she no longer has the emotional grip she once had. She doesn't understand you anymore. You are no longer predictable. no longer waiting, no longer desperate for her validation. And that burns her. This is the defining moment. If you let her back in too easily, if you reward her for walking away, you undo everything you've built. You send the message that she can leave and return whenever she pleases, that your growth was only temporary, that she still has power over you. But a man who has truly evolved, a man who understands his worth, does not fall into that trap. He does not seek revenge. He does not play games. He does not need to prove anything. He simply moves forward without her. This is what makes you untouchable. You are not an option. You are not a second choice. You are the lesson she had to learn the hard way. And the truth is, she will never forget you. Because a man who chooses himself is a man she can never control again. So when she reaches out, do not react. Do not chase. Do not entertain the fantasy of what once was. Simply keep walking. Because the man you are now, the man who has mastered himself, his emotions and his purpose, has no need for a woman who didn't see his worth the first time. The ultimate power move is not proving your value to her. It's proving it to yourself. If you're done settling for less than you deserve, if you're ready to be the man who walks away first, then embrace the Stoic choice. Choose yourself. Every time. Number 9. The conclusion. Becoming an untouchable man. This is it. The final step. The moment you realize you were never losing her, she was losing you. Because the truth is, she didn't walk away from you. She walked away from the old version of you, the one who put her on a pedestal, the one who craved her validation, the one who didn't yet understand his own worth. But that man is gone, burned away in the fire of transformation. And what remains? An untouchable man, a man who does not chase, does not beg, does not break. A man who stands so firmly in his own power that nothing, not rejection, not heartbreak, not even her return, can shake him. Because here's the truth most men never understand. This was never about getting her back. This was never about proving anything to her. It was about proving everything to yourself, that you are whole on your own, that you are strong, disciplined, and in control, that no one, not her, not anyone, gets to determine your worth. And now, she is nothing more than a fragment of the past, a memory, a lesson learned. Because the moment you truly let go, the moment you realize you never needed her to begin with, is the moment you become free. Nope. You are not broken. You are not bitter. You are untouchable. An untouchable man does not seek revenge, does not need closure, does not look back. He moves forward, always. Because his power lies not in the past, not in what he lost, but in what he has become. This journey was never about her. It was about you. About stepping into the kind of man who commands respect, who radiates strength, who never waits for someone who once walked away. Because in the end, the man who holds all the power is the one who needs nothing from anyone, not her, not validation, not approval, just himself. And that is how you win, not by playing games, not by seeking revenge, but by becoming so unshakable, so focused, so powerful, that nothing from your past can touch you. If this message hit you where it needed to, if you're ready to become the kind of man who cannot be broken, do it now. Hit that like button, subscribe, and comment below. I am the prize. I am the power. Stay strong, stay stoic, and never forget who you are.